New in town, huh? Well, if McCready let you in, that's a good sign. I'm Knock Knock, and I take care of keeping the peace down here. Or at least the morale. So who are you? You going to cause any trouble? Oh, that was you? Nice work. I hope you got some good laughs out of it before you left. Gotta make sure they know not to try that again. Speaking of which, I'm Knock Knock, and I take care of the general morale around here. Which is to say, I collect a lot of stories, and sometimes trade them to keep the others amused. Morale's better than less al, see? Well, technically, I'm patrolling and keeping the peace. Mostly, that involves making sure people are happy and not getting into trouble. You can't very well keep the peace if you've already lost it, see? So, bam! Jokes. Want to hear one? Prepare to be amused. Knock knock. Noah. Hey, that's good. I was just gonna say Noah, a place where I can get some food. Whoa! You really think so? Like, actually funny? Can you convince other folks to find them funny? Actually, most of our jokes are from an old book we found in the vault called Vault Boy's Big Book of Laughs for Kids. They're not really funny, but something about hearing them is a little comforting, you know? Oh, we've got lots of funny incidents, like when Sammy shot the raider who thought he was a girl, that sort of stuff. But we don't really get a lot of news stories from outside. The scav teams spend all their time hidden, so they don't get much news, see? I'd sure like to hear more tales from the great big outdoors myself. Actually, if you hear any, feel free to tell me. Oh, really? Tell me about it. So you're like a three-legged dog then? Looking for your lost paw? Anyway, what happened next? That makes sense, I suppose. A good story can take a while to put together, you know. Well, when people started calling Nicky by his new name, I needed one too, see? If you're twins, it just doesn't cut it to be called Knick Knack and Sue. To where, man? There's a souvenir shop just north of the entrance. That's where Knick Knack sells whatever else we can't use. Check there. Okay. Later. You're new, and you're too big to be a resident. Who are you? You brought back Penny and Sammy and Squirrel? Well, I guess that does make you a pretty big hero. Thanks. I'm Lucy, and I'm pretty much the mom around here. And that means I spend a lot of time kissing boo-boos and making things all better. So if you ever get any scrapes or bruises, or if you get shot, stabbed, or radiated, stop by, and I'll do what I can, big hero. There's always one big sister or another who knows her way around a compress and a sewing needle, so we take care of most of the little scrapes. And way back when, someone figured out that some of the plants and fungus around here absorb radiation. The little ones don't like to eat their veggies, but they don't like to be sick either, so we get by. It is, especially for dealing with the low-level radiation we all get from the water. The fungus just soaks it right up. But it doesn't help the rickets that keep hitting the younger Lamplighters. Believe it or not, I can make a treatment for that from extract of Buffout. Actually, if you can talk McCready into it, I'd be glad to trade some fungus for Buffout, but he'd have to say it was okay. Well, we all know the basics. Combat first aid, you know? But I've got the most experience at the tough stuff. Bumble's been learning the most about the more complex parts of cutting and sewing. People tease her, but she's got a steady hand. Of course, now she just needs to learn what you do and don't cut. Well, until you come asking for a bandage at least. Well, where to? Yeah, that's me. I'm only on duties when I'm in the office. Okay. Thanks. Hopefully, it'll just be skinned knees and bloody noses today. Whoa! You're big! You must be the biggest kid here. I'm the littlest kid. My real name's Betty, but mostly I get called Bumble. What are you called, big kid? It's nice to meet you, too. Did you come from the vault? I heard there's monsters down there. Eclair told me once, one of them, they got him and bit him right in the face, and that's why he's only got one eye. But you don't look like a monster, and I don't think you'd bite anyone in the face. You look like a nice vault dweller. It's just a name, okay? Not my fault I knocked stuff over. Lucy says I still got a lot of growing to do. I don't know. I still get lost sometimes. Things are really big. Bye-bye, Vault Dweller. Watch it. Thanks again for saving me. You're the best. Well, you and my brother are tied for the best, at least. But that's still really good. It's not a nickname. My name's Penelope. They're just lazy and don't like saying the whole thing is all. All right, bye.
Well, here's something I don't see every day. A new face and little Lamplight. A bit big for one of our kids, but you seem all right. What's your story down here? That was you? Well, my most sincere thanks then. You brought my sister Penny back to me, and I couldn't ask more than that. I'm Joseph, and if there's ever anything I can do for you, just name it. As the oldest kid in town, I spent most of my time teaching, but I do what I can to keep the kids clean and fresh-faced. Say, if you're ever looking for a haircut, I'd be glad to offer my services. You only have to ask. Well, back at the start, all the children had were the notes from the grown-ups that hadn't left yet, and a few books on caves from the store. But after finding the vault, a few scavengers brought back holotapes for basic schooling, reading, basic math, encyclopedias, that sort of thing. We don't get many books anymore from the scav team, but I make sure to keep my own notes on the computer for whoever takes over after I leave. Mostly whatever they want to learn. We don't have strict classes or anything down here, but it does mean they're interested in what I'm teaching. But everyone learns the basics of fighting and shooting and survival. We've all got obvious reasons to be interested in that. We entered all of the books and holotapes into the computer, but frankly, there are a lot of important subjects the Vault's material didn't cover. I could wish for more, but we're probably still the best school in the Wasteland. Maybe the only school in the Wasteland, really. Glad I could help. All right now, hold still. I should be able to do that. In here, but only when Lucy's in her office. Talk with her when she's on duty. Okay. Okay. Bye-bye.
Excuse me.
Hey! Wow. Thanks for the help out there. If it weren't for you, I'd be a goner for sure. Far as I'm concerned, you're welcome in here anytime. course, it isn't really up to me. So, what do you need? I'll try. Gosh, you're big.
Hey. Gosh, you're big. What's that?
Hey, picked up anything out there? Come on back when you got more stuff to trade. Is that yours?
Hey! Look, I don't just let any son of a bitch into my town. I'm taking a risk making an exception for you. So you're welcome in my town, at least until you start screwing up. Once that bullshit starts, you're out on your own again. Good. Better stay that way, Mungo. Organized? Have you walked around this place? It's pure anarchy, and I wouldn't have it any other fucking way. We can't all stay here forever, so we've all got to leave eventually. And there's not much to look forward to out there. So we have a good time while we're here, and the occasional ruthless little bastard like me make sure it doesn't fall apart for the other kids. It's not that complex. Any kid can say they want to be mayor here. It's just that most don't want to bother with the responsibility of leading. Most of the time, they last until the kids get tired of them. Then they get kicked out on their ass by the new mayor. One only lasted 5 minutes. Of course, I've kept this place going strong for 3 years. To most kids, that makes me mayor for fucking life. Fine by me, I say. People change when they grow up, and we don't trust Mungos living down here. So we leave for a place called Big Town before we get too old. At least that's the line Joseph teaches. But really, we simply don't have enough space or food for everyone to stay here forever. So, I've got to exile some to avoid ruining the whole town. It's a fucking hard, brutal choice to make, but that's the way we stay alive. About time. What do I look like, your tour guide? Yeah, I'll bet you've heard all about the fungus in my cavern. But yeah, the cave fungus, sure. It's good for food and medicine, and it's the main fucking reason we've stayed alive down here. So, you want a slice of that gray-green gold, huh? I think maybe we could come to an arrangement. What are you offering? Well, it'd lighten the load for our scab team a lot. Since you're pretty much one of us, here's the deal. For every piece of strange meat or buff-out you bring in, you'll be repaid with 1 cube of fungus. You couldn't ask for a better deal. Talk with Eclair for the strange meat, or to Lucy about the buff-out. They've got uses for them. Yeah, sure, whatever.
Watch it. watch it.
Hey. Hey.
Great. RJ let in another pair of choppers to eat up all our food. Well, as long as you don't give me any crap about how I prepare your grub, I guess you'll be okay. So tell me, what do you think of cave fungus and watery mushroom sauce? You got that right. After our regular meals, I bet some of us would give that a shot. If we had a Brahmin down here, that is. Listen, my name's Eclair. Don't laugh. And I'm in charge of the food down here. We haven't got much, but I do what I can to spice it up. If you need a meal down here, just talk with me. You'll hardly even know you're eating cave mold. Honestly, when we can't scavenge some from outside, we mostly scrape it off the walls and skim it off the water. No, really. Most of our food comes from fungus that grows in these caves. It's not so bad when you get used to it, and we don't have much choice. At least it's filling, so we don't have to eat much of it. But man, oh man, it tastes terrible! It's pretty hard to find, and I hear it doesn't grow in other caves. I don't know why it's here, but without it, we'd be goners. Think fungus just grows on trees? No, it grows in caves! Ugh. Knock Knock came up with that one once, and now it's stuck in my head forever. Doesn't take any work to get it to grow down here. All I have to do is collect and prepare it. Mostly, I try to get the stink off it. They say the fungus grows in the pools where the first Lamplighters dumped the mungos. That's about the most they ever helped us. I don't know how true that is, but I know sometimes the scav team comes back with this strange meat that tastes terrible, but the fungus loves it. I don't know where they find that meat, but if you could bring some back, I'd be glad to trade fungus for it. Of course, McCready'd have to okay it. Sure. Well, I didn't get the nickname for being fat and full of cream, if that's what you're asking. Back when I was on the scav team, I found some pages from an old cookbook. Sometimes I try them out. Just for the record, don't try making an eclair out of cave fungus. The taste sticks with you, and not in a good way. Okay, bye-bye.